Hello everyone and welcome to my beautiful backyard. Today I'm going to be talking about the fundamental differences between the pronunciation in Castilian Spanish found in Spain versus Latin American Spanish, Mexican Spanish, South American Spanish spoken elsewhere. So I'm going to talk about firstly the pronunciation of the letters Z and C. They are pronounced as How interesting. And we continue. Here's some examples for us. We have brazos for arms and vergüenza for embarrassment. Note those little symbols we got going on here. This would be pronounced as brazos and vergüenza and the other forms of Spanish. All right, and we continue. We also see words with double C's, like the word acceso, access. This would be pronounced acceso everywhere else. Interesting. All right, continuing, we're going to talk about the letter D. It's going to be pronounced as D. Interesting. Or pronounced as D, depending on where it's at in the word. If the D word is the initial phrase of a sentence, it is pronounced as duh. If the D word is in a phrase, it will be pronounced as the, except after the letters L or N. For example, no digas, do not tell, or Dios, for God. Interesting. Alrighty. Okay, so here's some food for thought talking about this right now. In places like Mexico and South America, these two words would be pronounced the same. Casar, to hunt, or casar, to marry. But not in Spain. To hunt would be pronounced as cazar. To marry would be pronounced as casar. So, in Castilian Spanish, we can differentiate a lot of vocabulary without context. So interesting, so amazing. Now continuing, I'm going to tell you all the origin of Castilian Spanish. It comes from vulgar Latin with a big Arabic influence. So 10% of Spanish words have Arabic roots. Many of the words that start with al, for example, the word for pillow is almohada. That's definitely an Arabic word. Super cool stuff. All right, and to further complicate the differences between Castilian Spanish and Mexican Spanish, South American Spanish, let's talk about word choice. All right, let's talk about potatoes. Papas or patatas. Papas is everywhere else. Patatas, Spain. Let's talk about cell phone. Celular, no sé, or móvil. This is Latin American. This is Castilian. Vamos a ver. Let's take a look. Car, coche, carro, or automóvil. This is going to be Mexican Spanish, coche and carro, Latin American Spanish, etc. Whereas automóvil is how you'd say it in Spain. All right. Here's another one. Computer, computadora, or ordenador. Computadora would be found in Mexico, Latin America, South America. Ordenador, España. Sí. I got a few more, bear with me. Cake, pastel, or torta. Interesting. Pastel is going to be in Mexico, Latin America, South America, etc., whereas torta is from España. Ooh, I'm covering it. Interesting. Also, a torta is like a delicious sandwich in Mexico. You gotta order one if you go to the Mexican grocery. They're super yummy. All right, and we also have the verb to miss, like I miss you. Extrañar or echar de menos. Extrañar is definitely not Castilian. Echar de menos, Castilian. All right. Now let's talk about some formalities, some of the words we use to talk to superiors or strangers. To be polite in Mexican Spanish, Latin American Spanish, you'd refer to strangers as usted, or your superiors as usted, or ustedes. In Spain, the word is vos, or vosotros. They are both a formal you. In Spain, Spanish just takes a step further with the vos forms and even has an extra conjugation to learn for this form. So it's really interesting. It just requires a little bit more memorization if you're going to learn Castilian Spanish. But that basically concludes the differences in the two different kinds of Spanish. Thanks for listening. Love you guys. This class has been a lot of fun.